Hi, my name is Ashley M. Jones, and I'm really excited to be a part of this year's Spark Literary Festival. Today, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself as well as a little information about some organizations that I'm a part of here in Birmingham. So let's get started. Just to tell you a little bit about me, I was born and raised here in Birmingham, Alabama, where I attended the Alabama School of Fine Arts from 7th to 12th grade. I then went to UAB, where I majored in English with a focus in creative writing, and I got my MFA in poetry from Florida International University. I have three books of poetry out in the world. The first is Magic City Gospel, which is from Hub City Press, Dark Thing from Pleiades Press, and the forthcoming Reparations Now from Hub City Press. I currently teach at the Alabama School of Fine Arts, and I co-direct PEN Birmingham. I'm the founding and executive director of the Magic City Poetry Festival. So Haley had a couple questions about me that I'd like to try to answer succinctly here today. First was about what hobbies and activities I enjoy when I'm not writing, and how do those activities contribute to my writing life and content. So I have a lot of things that I like to do outside of writing. I'm a big believer in letting regular life influence me. I'm not always doing literary or academic activities. That's really not what always feeds me and my work. So I just do regular stuff. I hang out with my family. I cook. I shop quite a lot. Um, I listen to music. I dabble in a little tap dancing. Just things that are exciting to me in my regular life. And all of these things do contribute to my poetry. You'll find poems about really anything, from visits to the grocery store to visits to the Pizitz dining hall, really anything at all. And there's also more academic pursuits like reading articles and books that also feed into my work. Where do I find inspiration when I feel exhausted and drained? Well, the first place that I find inspiration is by restoring myself. It's hard for me to work if I'm so tired and worn out. So I try to rest. And sometimes through rest, your ideas can sort of bubble back up. Ideas that maybe had been suppressed because of um, just fatigue, tamping them down. Also, if I'm tired of being, a writer, I'll do something totally the opposite of being a writer or an academic. So I'll just like binge watch, a show on one of the streaming services, or I will spend hours looking through websites that sell clothes and shoes, just something to totally distract me from the pursuit of writing. So I find inspiration really anywhere. And I certainly need to take care of myself in order to be open to that inspiration. Self-care is super important, even for those of us whose labor is often done sitting in front of a computer. So now I want to talk about the Magic City Poetry Festival, which is a 501c3 nonprofit organization which seeks to serve the greater Birmingham community through poetry events and community conversations. We have had now three festivals. The third one, this last one in 2020, was altered and virtual. And so next year, or this year rather, in 2021, it will also be virtual events. But here are some pictures of what it looked like in the past when we were able to meet in person. We had events all over the city with different age groups, lots of different events for anybody from poetry lovers to poetry haters, honestly. We had community conversations with rappers and other certain artists, Southern artists. We also had youth from the Desert Island Supply Company to read at the Woodlawn Street Market. We have an eco poetry fellow each year. And you can see our celebration here in the bottom center that we had with Tina Moselle Brazil in 2019. Yeah, we have a little bit of everything. We've got t-shirts, we've got church fans, we've got it all. We also try to give back to the community as much as possible. During the summer of 2020, we did an initiative called Poems for Change and Liberation, which allowed people to donate to different liberation-minded organizations serving Alabama. And in exchange for the receipt from that donation, we had a team of poets who wrote pieces for them on demand. We were able to raise over $1,200 toward these different organizations. We also did some online programming, such as this conversation between Dr. Damaris B. Hill and Monique L. Jones. This was a fantastic event. It also featured Miles College's Golden Word Movement, and it is actually online on our YouTube page if you'd like to watch the playback of that event. We also had our 2020 Eco Poetry Fellow installation. Our fellow for 2020 and 2021 is Salem Green, and we partnered with GASP, which is a local environmental organization, and also the Birmingham Botanical Gardens. I'm also co-director, as I said, of the Birmingham chapter of PEN America. PEN America is an organization that has been working for a very long time to help maintain and secure freedom of expression for everyone. They do this through literary programming, through legal action, through informing citizens. They have so many programs, and they support so many artists and writers and work to help free people who have been imprisoned for writing the truth. And so the Birmingham chapter is one of 6 that are a part of the PEN Across America initiative. And what we do is try to do all those things that PEN America does for the whole country, specifically for Birmingham and for Alabama at large. So just to show you some of the events that we've done through our chapter, of course, the Poetry Festival is also sponsored by the PEN Birmingham chapter, but we also do standalone events like this one. We had Dr. Jacqueline Trimble and PSA Layman in conversation. Fantastic event at the Birmingham Civil Rights Institute. We also did an event with Burdock Book Collective and the Writing for Justice program with PEN America. And we had a conversation about pollution, environmental racism, and ways to help our community, partnering with GASP, with Scalawag, and also through 100,000 Poets for Change. So hopefully that was informative. And if you want to know anything else, you can visit these 2 websites, www.magiccitypoetryfestival.org, or my website, www.ashleymjonespoetry.com. Thank you, Spark, for letting me introduce myself. And I'll see you guys out there somewhere online and maybe in person in a distant and less virusy future.